Hello.
Hi, Mr. Cher. Hi, chat. How are
Hey,
you guys
everybody.
today? Thank you for coming. Oh,
Oh,
we
thank you
match.
for having me.
We're both in tie dye. I think we have a little bit of a delay. I hate that because it. Yeah, but if I talk over you, I'm sorry, and I'll be quiet as soon as I realize it.
Fair enough.
Okay. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Cher. Hey, Delaney. Hey,
Hey,
Sharon.
honey.
Miss Wednesday. Hey, Sandy Beach and Mark Klein. I like Mark's shirt. So I'm excited. I've got some good questions. I think that I have some questions that aren't really about cases and stuff, and then I have some that are. And then hey
Hmm.
Dave, and then we can kind of get from the chat too if you want. And Cher said
Sure.
she'll come on at the end too. So yeah.
Sounds good. Hey, what's up, Dave?
Start. Yeah, I'm sorry I was a minute late, you guys. I might put in these headphones because I think the sound will be better. But yeah,
Oh,
you
am I a
know
bit
how it is.
quiet?
Let's see. You sound good, but let me see. Okay, is that better?
Well, I hear you good.
Okay. Ooh, I hear you good too. Well, I worried about my sound. Your sound was good.
Hmm.
You can I can tell that you have really good quality stuff. Um, for sure, because your sound is great. Yes, it's great. Awesome. Hey Angie. Hey Tiffany. Okay, well, let's just start at the beginning. So I think that most people in here know you already, but maybe there's some who don't. So for those who don't, who is Prairie Boy or Mr. Cher, and what is your channel about?
Uh, well, Prairie Boy 77, or Mr. Cher, as I'm more affectionately known. I am apparently a true crime YouTuber, although I didn't start out that way. I started off being a biker, doing moto vlogs with a GoPro on my helmet and riding around, basically being a menace to society. It wasn't until I got till things started up with Cher really that she said you should get into this, and yeah, I think I started with Chris Watts, and yeah, things just kind of took off from there. I'm still not doing what I want to do on my channel. I want to do like documentaries, but someday we'll get there.
Yeah, I actually went back on your channel today and I was looking and I saw some of your motorcycle videos and stuff.
Hmm.
That's really interesting and super cool. And going around with the GoPro, that's cool. Do you guys ever do that anymore just in your free time?
I rode that motorcycle twice this year. It's just there hasn't been time, and it's an extra expense. Like the insurance is really expensive on those bikes, and I needed tires. I had the tires, but I didn't get them put on. So yeah, it's just lack of time, lack of money, and I don't know, interests change.
Yeah, for sure. That stuff is super expensive. And then you guys, I know you've been busy as can be, especially with, you know, the Wells case blowing up like it did and all of that
Hmm.
stuff. And you guys have been, yeah, really busy putting out a lot of great videos, but not a lot of free time, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Um, okay, so what does Prairie Boy mean?
Well, I'm a boy, and I live in the prairies. So,
Oh, okay.
and
I thought.
77, that's the year I was born.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. I was wondering that. I figured it was something like that. It reminds me of Little House on the Prairie, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, but okay. So, what did your life look like before YouTube?
Huh. Well, before YouTube, I was just a carpenter doing my thing, and then okay, I guess I can get into like the sad sob story, but my fiance at the time passed away, and I was in like a really bad place.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
thank you. But I was watching YouTube, and I stumbled across these motovloggers, these guys on motorcycles, and they have cameras on their helmets, and apparently they were having a lot of fun and all that. So I thought, well, why not give that a go? So it was kind of like my escape from reality for at first.
Oh, wow. It's weird. I think YouTube is that for a lot of us. And whether you're
Mm.
going through whatever life, I hear that all the time. People are like, either this happened in my life, that happened. The viewers say that. And even me, that's how I got into it. Because once I got clean, I didn't have much to do or anybody to talk to. So I just got on YouTube. And then
Mm.
it's cool because it becomes like our best friend, It's crazy.
That is.
So what did you picture your life would be like? Like if you when you go back to like high school or whatever, what did you
Mm.
think you would be doing right now? Or did you, yeah.
Well, I had two two visions of my life when I was in high school and that. One was I thought I would make a good lawyer,
Interesting.
and yeah, and the principal told me you're not smart enough because I wasn't doing that well in school. I mean, I was passing, but definitely wasn't overachieving, let's say.
Yeah.
And then the other one was join the military, which I ended up doing a few years after high school.
Oh, cool. So is that Canadian military?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know much about that. That's interesting. And interesting that you wanted to be a lawyer and then ended up talking about true crime and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, it makes me want to be a lawyer again. Like I would love to be litigating these cases and arguing.
Yeah.
I think I'd be good at that, but law school ain't cheap. So
Yeah, definitely isn't. Cheshire Mercury says, "Oh, he would be a great lawyer."
thanks,
Very
Jeff
cool.
Shire.
So do you watch a lot of YouTube besides like what you're watching for your guys' videos and stuff, just for free time boredom? Do you watch a lot of YouTube?
Not really. I used to watch a lot more before Cher came along. Now if we have any free time, we'll some of it we'll be talking about cases, but a lot of it we just want to unwind. So we just snuggle up in bed and throw on some Netflix and yeah, just try and enjoy it that way. I don't watch much YouTube. I try and watch a little bit of everybody, but
Yeah.
it's really hard keeping up.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's hard to watch everything. Um, I'm a big YouTube watcher. I have Netflix shows I can't get around to because I can't stop watching YouTube. I don't
Mm.
want to see. Um, hey, Woofy. Well, and this isn't like in our little smaller true crime community, but just in the whole YouTube, in the YouTubes. Who is your favorite? Like, what are some of your favorite channels?
Um, well, some of my favorite channels would be Daniel Schiffer and Peter McKinnon. They're like videographer type guys. So that's not true crime at all. It's just magic with editing and cameras and stuff like that. I really like that.
You're very good at it. Your Cher's interview, like the way y'all set that up, the court for the Courtney case, that was
Mm.
very good. Looked very professional, but also like that trailer that you did, the Watts.
Oh, the
You're
Watts
good at
trailer.
it. Yeah.
That's like the dream is to make a full on documentary.
It
That's
would
my
be
dream.
cool if you and Cher did something like after the Summer Wells case kind of is solved or whatever in a few years or something that you were involved in. Wouldn't it be cool for y'all to do a documentary on a case that you were kind of working on? That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Oh, thanks, Woofy. Yeah, we match. We're both in Tada. Okay, let's see. Oh, well, I kind of already asked that. So, do you remember the first time you saw Cher? And how did you guys get, you know, to talking and that kind of thing?
Well, the first time I saw her, she had been coming to my lives and watching my videos for a bit before I went to her channel. But I do remember the first time I saw her, she was doing a video, I think about Rhonda, but just the way she was so wasn't really what I initially thought wasn't really correct about her, but she just seemed like this kind of like a dainty, I don't want to say fragile, but delicate kind of girl. And I just felt like instantly protective of her as soon as I
Aw.
saw her.
That's so sweet. I love you guys together. It's like Cher is very passionate and feisty and
Hmm.
blunt, which I love that about her. And then you are they I guess they call you the beard of reason, but
Yeah.
watching you watch her though, I've noticed that sometimes when she gets really passionate about something and she's talking and you're kind of watching her sitting beside of her, oh my god, it's like the sweetest thing ever. So you guys are really
We
I
do
love it.
complement each other well. She's fire and I'm ice.
Yeah, you're awesome together. Fire and
Hmm.
ice, he says. It's so funny. Okay, let's see. Oh, I bet it was weird though when you first finally met in person. Was that like,
Well, there was a lot of tension surrounding it because with all the COVID thing, she initially tried to fly up and it fell apart. They wouldn't let her get on the plane. So then she had her friend drive her up to the border. I think that was in April. But yeah, we were both just, I was more nervous about her getting across the border than actually once we were together. But there was like an awkward thing because they said we weren't supposed to like touch. So it was kind of like I grabbed her bag and opened the door and got in, and we didn't actually touch until we were leaving. We started holding hands.
oh,
But yeah, once she was like on that side, most of my nervousness went away.
oh my God, it's so sweet. One of my mods, a friend of mine, says, was it like a year before y'all met? How long was it?
It was almost exactly a year, I think, because I can't remember when we actually started speaking. Like we went for a while, kind of like just friendly, and it took a bit before we went anywhere romantic. But I want to say it was pretty much a year of online chatting before we actually met face to face. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time, but and it's weird because time on the internet it can be like a week, and on YouTube feel like a month because I don't
Hmm.
know why. It's just weird.
That's true. It does.
Yeah, that would be cool if you guys had fire and ice merch. That'd be awesome. You could do some really cool stuff with that. And
Mm.
there's some merch companies who do a lot more than just like a print on a shirt. They'll do embroidery, just different, all kinds of different things. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, we should look at that. Actually, I've been thinking about changing the Mr. and Mrs. Cher merch up. Fire and Ice would be a good concept. I like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Um, let's see. Okay, so I know you said you started with Watt's case, which what a case to start with. Oh my God, that's
Uh,
yeah, crazy case.
yeah.
Um, what case like emotionally rocked you the most? And do you get emotional when looking at these cases?
The one that's hit me the hardest is Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. Not so much, well, I mean, I feel bad for Stephen because he's been in prison almost his entire life, but seeing what happened to Brendan, like rewatching the documentary, it pisses me off every single time I watch it. I cannot believe that he's in prison. It just Yeah, it just rubs me the wrong way.
I saw that you had done a few videos on that. I haven't actually. I don't know anything about the case, but I do know that did they come out with another season recently or something like that?
There's another season coming, I think.
Okay. Cher said, "Yeah, he gets angry."
Hmm.
Um, it's hard not to get emotionally involved. People say keep your emotions out of it or whatever, but when I can't do it. And I think that's what makes us good. Like even I don't know. I think that's one of the good things about it is that we
Hmm.
care. So
I think the only two ways you could be a good true crime YouTuber is either you care about the people involved or you hate people and only care about science. I think that would be the only two ways you could actually be successful.
yeah, that's a good point. Either be completely out of it emotionally, out of everything, and just
Yeah.
based on the science, like the facts, the data, the evidence, or yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what is the biggest lesson that you've learned in your time on YouTube?
Stupid people exist everywhere, in real life and on YouTube.
Yeah, they really do.
Hmm.
And that was weird because my next thing I was going to write, or I wrote, was there's a lot of hate and a lot of irrational people on YouTube. And how do you deal with it? And especially since we see some of the craziness that Cher gets. I mean,
Mm.
she gets an unfair amount of criticism. She just does.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But
Oh, she absolutely does. And for the most part, I try and ignore it. I try very hard not to engage with these people because you can't you can't have an argument with someone on the internet and they're going to stop and say, "Oh, you convinced me I was wrong." That never happens.
yeah.
So it's just throwing gasoline on a fire. If you react, then they react, and it goes back and forth, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
That's kind of with me too. I haven't had to deal with a ton of it, but a few months ago I did have a little brush with it, and that's what I did. I just did not say anything because I knew if I did, then it would be like you said, back and forth, tit for tat kind of thing. And
Hmm.
if you just say nothing, but then it's hard because if you say nothing, don't you feel that then I don't know, it almost gives them an advantage because they can change and twist and manipulate the situation, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a six of one, half dozen of the other kind of thing.
Yeah,
Basically,
absolutely.
whatever makes you feel better. I mean, if you feel you need to stand up for yourself, then do that. If it doesn't really bother you, then don't pay it any attention, really. It only really
Yeah.
bothers me when they go after Cher hard. Like when I have to see her upset. Like there's two or three guys going after women is stupid to begin with, but if they live closer to me, I would be in jail right now. I wouldn't do this bickering online shit. I would actually be taking a road trip.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like going after a girl, I don't know. I don't like that either. I just
Yeah.
wasn't raised that way. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's definitely not something a man's supposed to do.
Oh, thank you, Shay. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. This is going to be the absolute best live I watch on YouTube tonight. Great. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you,
Um,
Shay.
yeah. So then I wrote motorcycles, which you kind of talked about that. It's
Mm.
so cool that that's like how you got started. I bet you never pictured you'd be doing true crime, huh? When you
No,
first.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like I was just all about bikes and all that stuff, and it's a very, very small niche on YouTube. Like it's a more close knit community, I'd say,
Yeah.
and there's a lot less drama. There still is drama there though, but it's just on it's on a way lower scale.
It's crazy. Hey, Mod Squad. I watch like a beauty channel, drama channel, and he said that like it's this guy and he collects these little dolls. And he said
Mm.
even in the doll community, there's drama. It's just the
Oh,
name of the
yeah,
game.
it's everywhere.
It's crazy. I do want to say too, you know, ever since I posted this live, there have been a lot of people who have come out bragging on you. A lot, you know, I I don't know. I usually don't get that a lot. Done a lot of different creator interviews, but you have a big fan base and a very good
Hmm.
reputation. A lot of people love you, and yeah, it's interesting.
Well, that's nice. I think it's because I'm respectful. Like people may not agree with my opinions on things or my stance, but I always treat people with respect. At least
Yeah,
I try to.
and I like that you if you don't believe that something's right, you say it, and it doesn't really
Mm.
matter who it is or what it is or whatever. And you don't say it rude, but you definitely say, you know, I don't like that, or I don't agree with that, or whatever. But very interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not a go with the flow kind of person. It's just kind of wherever my mind goes, that's what I'm talking about. So
How do you decide what cases you want to talk about?
share. She basically told me what to do the whole time. You should look into this. You should look into that. And then this Courtney Struble case. I mean, that's a local one, but there's another local case that I want to get into, and I'm hoping to at some point. But for the most part, yeah, she's whatever
It's
she's like
funny.
really passionate about. I like it gets me going. It gets me passionate about it. So
Yeah, that's
she's
awesome.
yeah, she gets pumped up about summer, so then I get pumped up about summer, and yeah, it just kind of goes that way.
I love that you guys are talking about like cases that aren't as known
Mm.
after you get a big a case that you get a big audience for, and then you're kind of bringing that audience to a case that otherwise really wouldn't get it. You know?
Yeah, that's the goal actually is to use our channels to shine the light on cases that don't get any traction because they don't have the right circumstances. Like the
Yeah.
Summer Wells case, there's really nothing special about it when you think about it. There was another 5-year-old boy that went missing from that area around the same time, and nothing's being said about him. So in that respect, it feels almost wrong. But I mean, you can't talk about every single case, but
Yeah.
at the same time, once you like, I think we've beaten these cases to death several times over. We're not accomplishing anything, so why not move on to other cases?
Yeah. That's so sad. That is just so sad. You know what? That little 5-year-old boy deserves all the attention too, you know?
Yeah,
Um, Welcome, Sharon. Thank you for joining. And 86 Gemini. I know I am close to 5K. It's exciting. Um,
nice.
Super exciting. Okay, let's see. Watts case. So there's a couple Watts case questions that I had, but not a lot. I kind of
Okay.
divided. I had some Summer Wells one too. I don't know much about the making a murder or whatever, but anybody who has questions after we can, about any of them. But I know a lot about those two, and that's kind of what I do. Also, I'll do like a big case and then smaller ones in between,
Hmm.
hoping that maybe the big case will bring some attention to the smaller ones. But it's sad
Yeah.
because certain cases they just don't. I don't know. They just don't get the attention.
Yeah. Some people they latch on to one, and that's their whole focus, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Michael
Okay.
Vaughn. That's what. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing about him. I think he's in Idaho, maybe. Or no, is that the one from Tennessee?
I don't know if he's from Tennessee. I thought he was like from a neighboring state. Like, see, that's just it. I know he went missing, but I know nothing about the case.
Yeah. I actually saw a post about him, I think today. It had been a while, but I did see something today.
Hmm.
Um, so I do remember hearing about you doing a Watts documentary. Is that
Hmm.
still happening?
I don't think it's going to. It was going to be not so much about the Watts case itself. It was going to be the effect that investing all your time in cases like that has on you personally. So we may still do something like that. Problem is, I had a lot of people say they wanted to help until I told them what I needed because I want this to look like a documentary you would see on Netflix. So it's not can't have someone like walking around holding their cell phone trying to do this thing. They need to have it planted and
Yeah.
you're turned like this, like a real documentary kind of thing. And yeah, no one
Oh,
wanted to do it.
cool.
So
Well, I'll help you guys if you guys. That's a cool idea, though. Hey,
I thought
Maxie.
so. Yeah. People loved the trailer anyway.
Yeah, you're very good at that for real. I think you should definitely chase that because you never know. You may be on Netflix one day.
Well, that would
Seriously.
be yeah, that'd be the dream. If I could do
Yeah.
that for a living, filming and editing, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, by the way, so do you do another job now besides just YouTube or?
No, no, I'm a carpenter still. I mostly install cabinets.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we aren't big enough
Sharon.
to live off YouTube just yet.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
in a
think
couple of years.
y'all are gonna get there. I know it. You are. Um, you definitely are, both of you. But okay, so my next one is: at one point, you believed that Chris Watts cat killed everyone.
Hmm.
Do you still feel that way?
I think it's possible. He everything would have had to flow just right, and he would have just gotten finished by the time people were showing up out there. So in my mind, it's possible. It's also very possible he had help, but I definitely don't think that he was innocent. I think he was the main conspirator, I guess you would call it, main perpetrator.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, has being around Cher and kind of discussing it with her, has that kind of changed your mind about some of those things?
Not so much. I mean, I'm always willing to look at different angles and different theories, but once it starts spinning way off and you're getting into the conspiracy side, that's kind of where I I just don't go there. For me, the the simplest explanation is most likely the truest one. I mean, sure, these broad conspiracies do happen, but it's very, very rare.
Isn't that Occam's razor or something? One of my friends, Melissa, actually told me about that a few months ago. The simplest answer is usually the one or whatever.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
but that's why there's so much interest in cases, especially unsolved cases, because it's not the simplest answer. There's a twist somewhere, and there's something that the police can't figure out. Or in the case of Chris Watts, we have an abundance of evidence, which we usually never see, and then we can just poke holes in everything.
Yeah. It's weird though that I mean, not weird. It actually makes perfect sense that you're not into conspiracies as much and Cher really loves them. And that's
Hmm.
like how you guys balance each other out. It's cool to see. I love it. Cher says, ask him who killed Nicole Brown Simpson.
It wasn't OJ. Actually, I have no idea, but all I remember from that whole thing, because that was before I was really interested in true crime, is him like trying to make it look like he's struggling so hard putting the glove on. That just threw me. That's
Yeah.
all I remember from that case. I'm like, the glove will fit your hand, man. Just
If it doesn't
try
fit,
not to
he must have
put
quit.
the glove on while making the claw, and it'll go on.
If it doesn't fit, he must have quit. That is so
Yeah.
funny. That's right. That's the case that Cher that brought her into true crime.
Hmm.
Um, I remember her saying as a little girl she was watching it on TV and stuff, which is really interesting. Debbie says that mistress was pretty shady. I agree, Debbie. I just can't get over the mistress in the Watts case. So do you
Hmm.
still keep up with what's happening in the Watts case? Like creators like Dave and Red X Crime Files and those creators? Do you still watching? Because I do believe that they're still uncovering different things and going
Hmm.
through that with a fine tooth comb.
Well, I haven't watched anything Watts in a while. I know Seeking the Truth with Dave is one that I will hit once in a while, and he goes way into the minutia of it, which is great. But if you're not following it, you're like, okay, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, I like Dave.
Hmm.
Him and I had talked today. Didn't you make like a video for him or an intro or something?
No, I didn't make that intro, but he was playing my trailer for a while to help
Oh, okay.
keep buzz going around for that. But it just, yeah, that just never worked out.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go on to Summer Wells. And I have like a few. I figure that'll go for a minute. And then we can take questions from other people and stuff if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. So, Summer Wells, do you remember when you first heard about the case? And when was that? And where and how?
I first heard about it, I want to say it was less than a week after it happened. Cher was already talking about it. And yeah,
Interesting.
we were like, this girl went missing. So she was right away. I think right away was it was either Dawn or the church. So, and this is going to irk her a little bit, but generally speaking, when we first hear about something, like there's big news and she jumps on this, I tend to like play devil's advocate and say, okay, why is it that? Why is it not this? I like tell me where are the details?
Yeah.
And that drives her nuts.
But that's good because it'll help you guys get to a argument that stands, you know, if you kind of push
Hmm.
back on each other a little bit.
Yeah, it tends to do more harm than good, but yeah. I can't help myself though. Whenever I hear something, I always like, okay, is this legit? Like when we did that live and there all that information was coming in about police being at the wells. I was really reserved and didn't want to know, and we ended up believing someone we shouldn't have, and it turns out we were wrong. So even being careful, you still make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of all the, like, whoever makes up these rumors about this poor little missing baby. What the hell is wrong with these people? I don't understand. It's not a
Mm,
game. For one, the parents playing jokes on people who have, look at all the time that Cher and you have devoted, and a lot of other channels too. But you guys have personally devoted a lot of time to them personally, and
mhm.
then you devote time to making the video, you know. And for, it's like, what a smack in the face. You'd think they would want to utilize these people who want to help them, but instead they want to play all these little games. I don't understand. It really, it ticks me off.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either. I mean, I get the frustration with being attacked and everything, and just wanting to show everybody that, hey, we can fool you anytime we want, kind of thing. But at the same time, I mean, we've lost track of what the case is about. Like, there's so many Summer Wells videos that don't even talk about Summer Wells. It's just all about Don or Dr. Phil or
I
the
know.
other guy who interviewed him. I can't even remember his name. Brian.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't,
all
I
about
don't,
that.
I
But
don't think I've seen that, but oh yeah, Brian Enton. Yeah, yeah.
Enton, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I don't know, it sucks because what do you do? Because these are her parents, so they're the closest to her. I don't know. It's,
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't really have any more avenues to go down, so
Yeah.
we just
Cher
kind of
says,
stick with it.
Cher said they want yes men around them, and that was never me or Mr. Cher. I love that.
Hmm.
I don't want yes men around me. Yeah, I want people to challenge me and my ideas because that'll just make them, you know, that's just what I want. Pushback on theories is good because that's how you prove your theory and hypothesis correct. Yes,
Exactly.
Amber.
Yeah, it is a good thing. If we all just agreed with each other, this would be incredibly boring.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so has your opinion changed about the Wells case from the beat? Like, what
Hmm.
was your opinion on what happened when you first heard, and do you have any theories now?
Well, when I first heard about it, I didn't really have much as far as theories. All I had seen was their little interview, and I thought that they just looked broken. So I thought there was some third party abductor. And I still think that's a good possibility because there are a couple of really shady characters that knew the area, knew the land, knew the wells, and could have done this. But right now, for me, the biggest thing is this 2 minute window that Candace had Summer out of her sight for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I think it was probably more like 2 hours. Something happened in there that she's not telling anybody. I don't know what the hell it is, but that's, if you ask me, that's the key to solving the whole thing is whatever happened in that time gap.
Hmm. That just gave me the worst feeling, even thinking about it. Like 2 hours. Ugh. But I'd say you're probably right. And you know, Dr. Phil, didn't he say something like that? Like, I don't believe that it was 2 minutes and you were panicking. You're not a hyper vigilant mother. I don't see that. You don't seem like a hyper
Mm,
vigilant mother, you know, based on your other characteristics. Um,
yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone could argue that she is, considering the number of children she's lost. Don't want to be mean about it, but that's just the reality.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. The whole case. I wish something would happen though, because, you know, we're all getting lost in all this drama and BS. And I know, and they were just saying in chat, sadly drama gets the views, and it does.
It
But
does. Yeah.
also it sucks because we got a missing baby, in the middle of all this drama. And can you imagine what her life looked like before? I was thinking that when that Molly Go Lightly Live came out, I'm like, I wonder if they were doing this before. And I don't know. Just sad.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some answers for her, but yeah, that's why we like to go on to other cases, because once you've put out all the information and there's nothing, you're just waiting. I mean, I wish that our subscribers would realize that it's better to move on to a different case in the meantime, but people just
Yeah.
want to stick with the same thing over and over. I don't understand why.
It's weird how that is. It really is. Because even with the
Hmm.
Watts case, you have the people that, only want to watch about Watts. And
Oh, and they'll watch hours every day, just watching the same thing over and over again.
crazy.
Yeah.
Any news on the 35C? Not that I've heard, Mel. I haven't heard anything yet.
No, I haven't heard anything either.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I sort of know how Cher feels about Robin and the church and the red truck too. What are your thoughts on the church, Robin, and the red truck too?
Well, I don't think it was some grand conspiracy by like the church. There might have been some church members, but I do find it very odd how happy Robin was at the concept of going and searching for summer. Like, yay, I'm going to pack snacks and we'll make a day of it. And life is wonderful, isn't it? That was really weird to me.
Yeah,
And the fact that they have this truck that is identical to the one they're looking for, and apparently they bought it only a few weeks ago. So I want to know who they bought it from, because I would bet money that they bought it from someone else who goes to that church. So it is very, very likely that the church is involved, like people from the church,
right.
like not the entire church.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if Robin was like that because she's like really sheltered, and I think that Cher's messages kind of make it seem like she's like brainwashed, or
Mm.
maybe, you know what I mean. I didn't like when she says I want my pastor to come because he knows why we believe some of this. And I don't even
Yeah.
know. I'm like, you don't know why you believe what you believe. I don't know. I could just never just take someone's word for something like that and believe it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it is weird. Well, religion's a big one for that. I mean, I don't think you can find too many, say, Catholics who believe every single thing that's written in the Bible, because there are things that don't make sense. Like there are
Yeah.
things in there that are just, they're metaphors, they're stories, they're meant to teach a lesson. They aren't literal. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you would need someone who knows their Bible inside and out. But yeah, I've known people like that who are just obsessively positive all the time, no matter what. Like it doesn't matter
Weird.
what's going on, they're laughing and smiling and happy. And yeah, those people, I don't know, they cause me concern.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My phone rang, so I don't know. Did it take my camera?
No,
Um,
you
can you see?
flashed a bit there.
Can you see me?
Yep.
It looks black for me, which is weird, but I'm back on my side. Okay.
It went off and on for a sec there, but you're good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Cher says, see, Mr. Cher can't see the bad side of people. Me, I see Robin playing stupid, and it's scary.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Uh, I see the bad side of people, but I don't only see the bad side of people. Fire, ice. I'm well aware of their potential, but I don't assume it. I guess that would be a better way of saying it.
Well, and she says trafficking rings always have that super trusted woman. And that reminds me, and
Mm.
it's kind of happening right now, that lady that was with Jeffrey Epstein. and she's going to court
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
She was the one who got the girls and stuff because they
Mm.
trusted her, and she was, wow, that's crazy to
We
think
just
about.
watched what was it called? Wild Country. Same thing. There is a sweet petite little woman who was basically running the whole show,
Mm, it's
and she turned
crazy.
out to be like nasty.
What do you think the possibilities are that maybe, or have you ever thought about the possibility maybe someone was trying to give Summer a better life, or an adoption, like illegal adoption type thing?
Mm. Yeah, the gone baby gone scenario. That's what I'm hoping for, because that would mean she's actually alive.
Yeah.
That would be like the best thing. I don't believe it was grandma. I don't buy that, but
Mm.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. And they
And
do
it's
happen.
believable. Yeah, it is believable because when you see those videos of Summer in church, she's just hanging on Robin like she just wants affection. And
Oh,
yeah, like I could definitely see the possibility of Robin having her. I
that'd
could
be
totally see
crazy.
it.
Well, I know I've known people who couldn't have babies and maybe weren't able to do a regular adoption. I
Mm.
think mainly for money reasons, and they didn't ever go through with it. But they were looking at Facebook groups and things where people like do under the table adoptions, basically. Just
Mm.
crazy.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
So, do you remember? I know that oops, all these pranks and hoax and all that stuff. But do you remember when J is for Justice released some text messages she had with Dawn? And this happened the day of that big hoax where he had gotten arrested or whatever, when people thought he had. And it
Mm.
was about him saying the $50,000 and all of that. Do you remember those?
Yep. Yep. I remember.
Yeah, I've thought about. I mean, maybe possibly there could be another hoax. Do you think? What'd you say?
Oh, Jay actually got those texts from Cher.
Oh,
That was
wow.
Cher's conversation with Dawn.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think that that could have been another hoax, or do you think that that it was that he had $50,000 and all of that, or that he owed it and
I
from having it or whatever?
When you look at Dawn, would you give him $50,000?
I know, that's what I
I sure
thought.
as hell wouldn't. Like I don't buy it. I just
Eh, Yeah,
I just don't.
most drug dealers don't want to front a dime bag, or whatever, but they're not gonna.
Yeah, like a little bit they will, but not like that. And only
Yeah.
if you're dealing. They don't float to their customers.
Yeah. Yeah, because they know that you're a crackhead or a druggie or whatever, and
Yeah, they'll never
um
get that money back. So why would they do that?
mm. So do you think that I mean, also the possibility, what if they sold her to someone else, like the psychic predictions and all of that?
Well, there was one time when we were talking to Dawn, and I think we were talking about this because we were trying to get Dawn to admit to this mafia thing. Say, okay, well, if we only need like 20, 30 grand, we could raise it. We can, we'll do some fundraisers and stuff and get it out there. And he kept saying, no, no, no. And then Cher said something. I'm sure it was still along those lines. And Don said, no, it goes much deeper than that. And we were like, what? That it just made us wonder what's deeper than that.
Yeah.
So, like, Don will say random shit just out of the blue, or he'll just start talking about the church when no one asked. It's either that or it's he slipped and there is some major conspiracy. Maybe Don realized we can't handle this any children. Robin wanted another girl. They worked something out. I don't know, but Don sure rides hard for Robin and the church.
Mm.
Like he'll defend her instantly. Like, and he actually called and chewed out Cher just for putting out a conversation, something Robin actually said. So
Yeah.
if you look at it that way, it does kind of all like add up a little bit.
Mm, I don't know. That is just so. Ugh. I heard him like chewing her out. You guys, I think, played like, I don't know. I was watching it half asleep, so I don't even know when you played it. But you played a recording of, um, during that when Don called,
Hmm.
and he's like trying to act like it was fake, or Robin didn't say that, or and Cher's like, so I faked Robin's voice. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are you saying? Oh my gosh. Um, do you think that he stands up for Candace in the same way?
I've seen him stand up for Candace and say, "My wife is telling the truth. She's never lied." But I didn't see as much anger from Don when he was defending Candace as I did when he was defending Robin.
Wow,
That was peculiar.
that's so interesting. Now I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch some of this and kind of um okay, let's see. What was your most notable interaction with Don? Was there anything that after you thought about it, and besides that, about it goes much deeper than that, but was there anything other than that that afterwards you just could not believe, or you know?
It wasn't like when Cher was doing those interviews with him, and I was basically just like sitting there. I wasn't really talking much, but we got like he painted a picture for us of what they were all like, and it was a believable picture. But it wasn't until that whole mafia thing, that's right around when it changed, and they did the fake arrest, and then we realized he's talking to a whole bunch of other people, saying all kinds of different things, and we realized that he wasn't the genuine person we thought he was. So ever since then, everything he said, I'm always like, okay, I'm not going to believe that right off the bat. I'm going to wait for proof or wait to see if you contradict yourself or whatever. Very skeptical of him now.
Yeah. I feel the same way, especially with all the hoaxes and all the crazy stuff. It's like,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's at a certain point you're not taking this serious. It seems like they are not taking it serious at all. Why are
Yeah.
we caring more about some of this than they are? You know, and
Yep. Well, that's the thing is I think he initially took to social media and fr- accepted all the friend requests because he thought that everyone on social media was going to actually help the investigation, when all that happened was now we just have two camps: those who think Don did it, those who think he didn't. It
yeah,
still has nothing to do with Summer. Like, we're
yeah.
not getting any closer to finding Summer.
I sent him a friend request back then.
Hmm.
And but I even think that at least he has wanted to talk. I mean, we
Hmm.
got to give it to the guy. He's talked at every chance he's gotten. He's talked to the news, Dr. Phil, to YouTubers on Facebook. Seems like Candace, she does not want to talk about Summer, really.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because she's sketchy of people, or I don't know. If you're living in a life of like doing drugs and partying and stuff, you I guess it's like part of the culture not to talk to people,
Hmm.
not to tell your business. But I don't know. What do you think about them?
Yeah, that's another one of those things. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because I see people all the time saying, and I'm one of them, says Don needs to just stop, get the hell off social media. But then there's a lot of people who say, why isn't Candace talking? So if it was reversed and Candace was talking all the time, people would be saying she needs to stop. And why isn't Don talking? So if you talk, you lose. If you don't, you lose.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, if anyone ever has something like this happen and they consider taking to social media for assistance, they need to think long and hard, because while they may help in the long run, initially they're just going to shit all over you. It's just the way it's going to be.
Can you imagine? I mean, your baby goes missing, and let's just say they are totally innocent, or other families that are. I mean, even with Shanae and
Mm.
Watson stuff, it's like once your life gets opened up like this, then you have the whole world judging you for every little thing. I can't
Yeah.
imagine going through your Google, everything you've ever Googled, all your, I don't know. It's just, it would be hard for sure. And
Mm,
it's not fair, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I could sit here and, I'm critical sometimes, overcritical, but just all the games are just too much for me. I can't, it
yeah.
just, yeah. Okay,
Like
let's,
I understand researching to that extreme, digging into a person, finding out everything about them. That's one thing. But you don't need to broadcast it to the world just to embarrass the hell out of them either. I mean,
yeah,
we don't need to do that.
yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Looking into it yourself, maybe because you're curious, or maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, but then just straight dogging people who are already going through it,
Yeah, and if you find something, you hand it off to law enforcement.
Um, I do want to. Well, not this isn't on the topic of summer, but it kind of isn't on this topic. Like with Brian Laundrie's parents,
Mm,
um, they weren't really treated very fair either, in my opinion. At first, I don't believe that they did what they should have, but also, man, people are vicious.
yeah, it's definitely worse on people if they act strangely. So, I mean, they got more than what they should have. I admit I laughed at the laundry basket thing. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, regardless of what we think of these people, they're innocent till proven guilty. We don't know that they were involved in this.
Yeah,
So we shouldn't be, even if we did know, it's not our place to be going after them in real life. Like
absolutely.
that's not our right. That's what law enforcement's for. We're not supposed to do that stuff.
I laugh too at the like some of the laundry basket stuff, and but then whenever his dad, he's outside mowing the grass, and they're just protesters like going back and forth yelling at him, screaming at him. Or the
Mm,
day they found his body, they went back and protested for days after they found him. I felt
mm,
that was just so wrong. I don't
yeah.
know. um
People get emotional and they care about this, but it's not it's not okay to go and do that. Like these are the same people that will riot and burn down their own neighborhoods
yeah,
because they're pissed off. This is not the way you're supposed to behave.
yeah,
There's something wrong going on in there.
yeah, super overreactive. um
Hmm.
Okay, so Amber had a comment about grandma, and that was one of my questions. How do you feel about grandma? And then share. We have Cher's comment here too. So your thoughts on all of them, and I need to let's see. I heard Grandma tell Dawn and Candace they were dumb for opening their mouths to begin with, but why would she say that? It's weird, in my opinion. It's her granddaughter. She should want her name out. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Grandma and on Cher's
Well,
comment?
I don't think. I mean, I don't really think any of these people are, citizen of the year or anything like that. I do find it odd that Grandma left when all this was going on, even if it was to help her sister. I mean, she had a daughter and a granddaughter missing. I would think that would trump a sister who needs a little bit of help taking care of her husband. But that's just me. Yeah, as far as what she said, they're stupid for talking to begin with. When you look at all the shit that they've gone through, like they've had to create different Facebook accounts, and I've seen some of the comments and shit that they've been sent. They're vile. Like they're horrible. There's no way that these people aren't sitting at home reading this stuff. God forbid their kids don't know their social media passwords because holy. But you sit there and you're reading these people call you murderer, they call you a piece of crap, terrible parent. There's no way that that can't affect you.
Yeah.
And we have to presume innocence. Like, so yeah, I totally get where grandma's coming from. They should have kept their mouth shut because they're basically just being tortured constantly, and now they're stuck. Like, what do? Do they drop off social media? If they do that, then they're going to get badgered even worse because people are going to say, "Oh, they stopped talking because they're guilty." They keep going. It's just a farce. It's just a circus of watching them spiral out of control.
Yeah.
There's no upside anywhere.
That's sad.
The
That
only
is so
the
sad.
only upside is if we all YouTubers agree to just leave them the hell alone because we aren't doing anything anymore.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, and it's really sad. I agree with you. Her leaving, that was suspicious. You have
Mm.
a grandbaby missing, and also, I believe she was the only one that was around when both Rose and Summer went missing, right?
I don't know where she was when Rose went missing, but yeah.
So that was kind of odd too. But also, she's got obviously a little bit of street smarts with her because, like I said, that's kind of, you don't talk because they're going to use whatever you say against you, even if you're innocent or whatever. And
Mm.
that's kind of okay. Let's see. Did you find it odd that Dawn drove the Subaru that day?
To hear Don say it, no. I mean, they have this brand new vehicle, got nice air conditioning and everything. His piece of crap truck, the AC would be shot if it worked at all. So I don't think it would be odd. And drywall mud is not that damaging to a vehicle. It cleans up with water. So I don't I could see him taking it a few times, like once in a while, especially on hot days or long trips like that was, better gas
Yeah.
mileage and everything. It makes sense.
Yeah. And the wouldn't drywall mud just like come right off if you like it dries hard and you could just like brush it off kind of, and, unless it was
Pretty
too
much,
thin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pick it off and then whatever was left back, a little bit of warm water and it'd come right out.
Interesting. So I didn't know you were a carpenter.
Hmm.
Um, that's one thing with Dawn that's bothered me, and I've seen other people mention it. I know they didn't have a lot of money, but Summer's bedroom, with him being doing that kind of work for a living, I felt like for a little bit of nothing, they could have at least made her something a little better than what she had, and that's always bothered
Hmm.
me. I don't know. That's just me being picky and judgmental. I know, but still, it's like I just I would take a little baby like that and want to spoil her to death. Even if I didn't have it, I would do work, whatever, however many jobs or whatever, just to,
Hmm.
and it's sad.
Yeah, they're in a different life. And they both Don and Candace came up in different lives. Like I'd like to try to put my head in that space, but I can't. Like I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. We had to get secondhand clothes and we had to eat a lot of spam and stuff, but the house was always clean and neat. But I
Yeah.
get for some people that doesn't matter. They don't they never did learn to keep a clean house. Like
Yeah.
growing up as a child, you aren't taught that. So as an adult, you're not going to learn to.
Yeah, and especially if you're partying and stuff. Like my parents
Hmm.
were neat freaks, but until I got in recovery and I was partying a lot and stuff, I didn't care about that stuff. You
Yeah.
just yeah. Okay, so I only have two more that I wrote down. The first one is, what are your thoughts on Hunter and Allie?
I I don't think they were involved in this. I think Allie, for some reason, wanted to use it to get back at Candace, and H just went along with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my thinking. I don't think he had like this sinister plan to nail Candace. I don't. I know there's a lot of talk about that him and Candace having a relationship, but I don't really buy it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it was more Allie was just
Um,
bitter.
I loved Spam, Brian, by the way. But Cher says that there was jealousy issues there. And I think,
Mhm.
how she says, like, Candace wouldn't let her look at Summer sleeping and stuff. Just different. She just seemed to me like she was not being truthful. But, I could be wrong. But, yeah. And then, let's see, I believe Candace slept with Jose and it caused issues. And then, there's a YouTuber named
Mhm.
Sarah Saving Spirits. She does, like, dowsing rods, tarot cards, like spiritual type stuff on true crime cases. And
Mhm.
she posted a video where she found on Facebook, like a year ago, Hunter had commented about being in a relationship, and she was kind of showing the comments underneath, and Candace had commented, and she had like a little snooty remark. So there was that was interesting. Maybe there was some, I don't know, I've always wondered if there was something inappropriate happening, but I don't know. I think we'll never know. All we're doing.
Yeah, there was some inappropriateness. Like they were a little bit too close to being friends. Like buying him alcohol and vapes and
Yeah.
stuff. And even just Candace taking Hunter with Summer to go somewhere. That was it's weird. He's what was he, 14 or 15?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
he does not fit in that scenario. If the other boys had been around, sure. But just her and Summer, it
Yeah.
was weird. Like there's definitely weirdness. I don't know if there was like anything sexual going on, but there's definitely weirdness.
Yeah. It was. But I don't know. I also thought maybe Candace was, I don't know, developmentally maybe younger a little bit in her mind.
Mm,
I don't know. But so I've wondered that too. Okay. I added an extra question, but that one is, because I keep thinking of stuff as we're talking. So I did only have two, but now I still have two. The
yeah.
first one is, um, Summer was in her school clothes outfit that day, and that was something that I always thought was odd. Did you or Cher ever talk about that? And did you ever find that as kind of odd? Because school clothes, you'd think they would stay new until school, but yeah.
Well, we did talk about it a little bit, but I remember when we would like when I was a kid, we'd go get school supplies, we'd get some new pants and new shirts. We always wore them before the first day of school
Oh, okay.
because we were just too excited. We got new clothes, so we would wear them, and then Mom would wash them,
Yeah.
and they'd still be usable.
Okay. That's interesting because I guess I never even thought about it being a possibility because I'm like, I'll keep my outfit, like, I'll keep it until that day. I want it perfect. Or I would
Mm,
even, I'm weird about that stuff. Like my shoes, I'll clean them every time I wear them. I'm like my stuff, like,
mm.
so yeah, but I'm a girl and I look at things a little, I'm a girly girl. I look at things a little differently. So, huh. That's interesting. Okay. And then the other one I have is, if you and Cher went down to Tennessee, where would you guys want to go? What would you film and why?
Well, if you'd asked that a couple months ago, we'd be going to Don and Candace's for sure. I think we probably still would, but I'd want to go to their house. I'd want to get all up on the neighbors. I'd want to go talk to church members. I'd spend a lot of time talking to church members, just casual, not grilling them, but just to try and get a feel of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just I'd probably spend like a day just driving all the back roads around there, just to try and get a feel for what could have possibly happened. Because to hear someone say it or to see a picture, it doesn't really show. But to get in there and feel the energy and experience the area, I'd want to do all that stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I think I would have went sooner, but my mom, we found out that she had breast cancer and she had surgery. Now she's doing better.
Mm.
She's had her treatment and stuff. So I'm still planning on going. That's why I was asking. I wanted your insight of where what you guys would be interested in checking out. And I think that'd be great to get an idea for like a feel of the church members. And I've always
Mm.
thought about like, what about walking the woods, like around their house, not their property or anything, but just like public property anywhere where just to see what the land was like, if she had ran off, maybe what she would have ran into. You know what I mean? I think that would be interesting.
It would be really rough terrain, especially that time of year.
Yeah. See, I live not far from there in West Virginia. It's very much like Tennessee. It's, mountains and honestly, a lot of people were talking about the way they lived, and I saw a lot of people that lived. It's just, especially people who, um, do drugs and stuff like that. But not only that, there's a lot of people that are just low income. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it's a lot like that. So I don't know. Do you think that a 5-year, right where they're at though, is right on top of that mountain? I just wonder if a 5-year-old could walk on that terrain by themselves, because they don't have the balance and stuff that we have.
Yeah, she wouldn't have all the coordination. She was a strong, energetic kid, so she probably could get a fair distance. But why would she like try? The only way she'd do it is if she was trying to run away from someone.
Yeah.
So I mean that is a possibility, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't see her following like an animal or anything.
Yeah.
And I know they had those dogs out, which a lot of people have questioned, but some reporters went up there and said they didn't bark. I mean, they don't, Ooh, Cher said no shoes on though.
No shoes on. Yeah, she was barefoot apparently.
Oh, okay.
So that would make things a lot harder too.
Yeah. Walking through the woods without shoes on. I mean, you could do it. You could walk around your front yard, but the rocks in the woods, I don't know. I don't think I could do it. And I grew up barefoot
Hmm.
outside. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had that I had planned. And then if Cher said she could come on if you guys want in the chat, if the chat has any questions, or if not, I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I'm down for whatever.
Thank you. That was awesome. I love that.
It was.
Yeah, it was good questions and good answers. Interesting. Let's see.
No, it was good.
They're not poor. Drywall. Well, yes, Susie, that's true. He wouldn't. I've wondered that too.
Oh, Cher said she'll just hang in the chat.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then I'll just see if the chat has a couple questions, and then I'll let you guys go. But since you kind of do the same thing for a living, that's a good point. It's not like you know a lot of people in my family do the same thing.
Hmm.
It's You'd think that he was making at least halfway decent money.
Well, yeah, he'd make some good money, and they wouldn't have a lot of overhead. Like they weren't making house payments, as far as I know.
Right.
Just land taxes, probably. But yeah, I mean, the drywallers, they make decent money. They aren't, it's not diamonds and furs kind of money. And they got them two and four kids.
That's true.
So it's a
4
lot of food.
kids.
And then
Yeah.
they had a brand new vehicle. So
I wonder if they were getting assistance at all. Cher, do you know?
Don has always said they never got food stamps, no help from no one, and he was kind of proud about that fact. So,
Interesting.
did they get food stamps or anything like that?
No,
Yeah.
it's my understanding they don't even have health insurance or whatever, because they don't have money. So if they had food stamps, they'd have health insurance too.
Yeah, no health insurance either, apparently. They
Oh,
did.
wow.
I think they inherited the house. He built onto it because it was basically just like a shed. I
Oh, I
remember seeing
didn't
some
know that.
pictures of them building onto the house.
Oh,
I think
cool.
that's why the stairs are so weird.
Now, have they fixed that? Didn't they? Have we?
I think he spruced it up a little bit, but I think the stairs are still in the same spot.
Okay. Someone had asked
Oh,
me
yeah, and someone
about a
Sharon
rail.
actually gotten a bit of tiff about that. It wasn't uncommon back in the day to have like a trap door that you just pull up and walk downstairs to go into your cellar. So
Okay.
Don probably built that thing around the trap door. I don't think he built that whole thing and put the stairs there.
Yeah,
I think that was already there.
that's a good point. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that at all, but especially if it was a shed.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, moonshiners. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. To keep it cool and stuff, they put it down or to keep their canned goods cool and stuff too, right? People would do it. Use
Well, yeah,
cellars
and
for that.
houses were tiny back then, so it was all about saving space. So why not have something you can just walk right over and pull it up when you need it and walk downstairs?
Wow. Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. Kind of like an addict, right? Like the kind that pull out of the but
Yeah, those stairs. Yeah.
okay, let's see if there's any other questions for you. Thank you guys. It was awesome. Do you guys have any more questions for him? Yeah, you did. That was super interesting, and I could go on forever and ever. So I'll just stop and see if they have questions, and then maybe in the future we can all and Cher can come on, or we can do like another one with everybody. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to interview you.
I would do it. I'd be down for that.
Huh?
Yeah, Fire and Ice, your shirt's red and blue. You guys could do some really cool stuff with that. I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Yeah, we were supposed to work on her merch today. We got lazy.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
I love you, Alex.
I love you. Thank
She
you
loves
so
you.
much. Susie said, "Does anyone think that they should get their boys back?"
Mm-hmm. Not until they clean up their shit.
Yeah.
When they stop going on YouTube every night and getting drunk, then maybe we can talk. But until they curb that, forget it.
Yeah. But and I thought, if my baby was missing, I'd probably be crazy and out and doing some wild stuff too. So we got to remember that while we're just, it sucks because if you want to discuss true crime, we got to discuss the people in it, to an extent. But then, I don't want to be too hard on anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to cause more pain for grieving people. And it's but then people that are guilty of stuff, you want them to get what they deserve. So it's balance.
Yeah, you got to put out the information, but not be a jerk about it, basically.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well, I think we got all the questions. And then, if there's any more next time, we'll just talk about it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It was awesome.
Well,
and
thanks
thank you,
for having
Cher.
me.
And yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. And I'm going to go ahead and go too. My kids are out there being really rambunctious, probably wanting to get in here. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome night.
Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks again, Alex.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.